And we have breaking news here. German car company, Daimler Chrysler, has canceled plans in Iran to do business because the ambassador, Rick Grinnell, convinced them you either do business with Iran or you do business with the United States.
Rick has been doing, I should call him Ambassador Grinnell, has been doing a very good job, because there was another thing that was sort of slipped under the radar. Remember how during the Obama administration, the United States sent over cash to the Iranians? Okay, so there was, coming up this week, there was an attempt by some people in Iran wanting to get this money out of Germany as well. They had money in Germany, and Rick Grinnell is persuasive, and that money did not go. So that is happening. The pressure on the Europeans, I think, is working.
Good.
And I think it will be swift. I think the pressure on the Chinese and Russia,
no,
not so much.
Yeah, they're going to continue to probably do business with the Iranians. Greg, is this more carrot and stick with President Trump, where he slaps on these harsh sanctions and said, hey, you want to talk? Let's talk.
Absolutely. You know, Kerry can't walk away from the table because he's made from a table. He just falls in love. He goes, like he did, what is it called? Me and 23, what's it called?
23andMe?
23andMe, and he found out he was from a table. All right, enough of the tabling jokes. All right, this is a lot like North Korea. Trump
That's like a lousy joke.
Yeah, I know, but I love lousy jokes, Geraldo. Previous wisdom, he takes it, he turns it upside down, he starts over, he removes the reflexive roadblocks of the past and says, let's meet. Why do we trust him over the previous administration, who tried the same thing with Iran and thought they had a victory? It's because this new team is a murderer's row. Pompeo, Bolton, Mattis, Kelly, and Trump. That's a lot of sleeves you can hide a knife in. These are guys that you know, like I've said it before. Bolton, he's a walking no in all caps. He will give it. He might give an inch, but he will extract a tooth in exchange.
Yeah, these sanctions are pretty biting, as the president said, Geraldo. Commercial aircraft, precious metals, carpet exports, industrial software, cars, and sovereign debt, and they're basically cutting off all access to the dollar in terms of international business transactions. That's going to be pretty intimidating.
There is no doubt but that these sanctions are biting, and they will accomplish, I think, the goal, which is to get Iran to negotiate on the nuclear deal. And I think that President Trump should take up the whole idea of meeting with Rouhani. I like when he meets these people face to face. I believe he has a unique and unprecedented and extraordinary ability in the face-to-face negotiation to do something. However, I think that our entire policy vis-a-vis Iran is bankrupt.
Why?
I think that we have totally picked the wrong enemy in the Middle East. In my experience, in decades of war reporting, the nuisance, the evildoer is Saudi Arabia. It was the Saudi Arabians who were the 9/11 hijackers. They're ISIS, they're Al-Qaeda, they're Al-Shabaab. It's the Sunni Saudi Arabians that are the real problem. The Iranians, I believe we could do business with them. They're the sheiks of Rodeo Drive in Southern California. They're the Persians. I think that we really have gone.
Well, it's the regime in Iran we have the
bought
problem
and
with.
purchased by the Saudis. The Saudis have bought and purchased American foreign policy.
Exactly what I was going to say, Jesse. It is the regime in Iran. This is an oppressive regime. I don't understand why America would be helping to fund or give cash to an oppressive regime. President Trump is correct to take a hard line on this. This is the art of the deal. He will bring them to the table, and we will stop giving money to people that would blow us to smithereens if they had the ability to. So I think this is the right move.
The way the Saudis did?
Thank you, Donald Trump.
I think, no, I do, Geraldo, it hurts to say this, but he does have a point.
Yep.
I mean, it is. I mean, the Saudis have been around. Like when we talk about Iranian terror, we always say they're the largest state
in the 20th century. Maybe.
Yeah, but we try. But it's very hard to say. Well, which ones? That have that in America, but we know which ones in America with Saudis.
There can be more than one problem. They're all a problem. You know?
Right.
So it's something that we have to take care of. It's why we had to have a show of support with Israel, because they're really our only allies in the Middle East, and he's got to tackle all of it.
Yeah.
That's what.
But also, you have to
be
deal with the situation that you have now, and that it has changed. Don't you think, Geraldo, that the Saudis are trying to figure out a way.
Women are driving.
You think so?
The Iranians are
the
not.
Saudis are perpetrating the biggest murderous assault on the nation of Yemen. It is the Saudis blowing up weddings. They're blowing up civilians. No one is holding them to task. They are blockading other peaceful Arab countries. I mean, it is outrageous to me that we don't see our own self-interest because of Saudi money,
a lot of
Saudi oil.
self-interest with the Saudis because of oil, and we can deal with them next after we deal with the Iranians. Geraldo.
Thank you.
A Democratic candidate dreams about America with open borders ahead.
The battle over what to do about America's broken immigration system rages on. As you know, a Democratic candidate for governor in the border state of Arizona raising eyebrows with his vision of the future.
I want to just take a second and imagine. Let's just imagine. Just imagine. No wall. No wall in southern Arizona.
Mr. Garcia's dream of no wall is Donald Trump's nightmare, as you know. The president refusing to back away from his campaign promise to build the wall. Candace, you're filled with fury. Do you think the president should shut the government down if necessary to get funding for the border wall? Is it worth it to life or death? You know what I mean?
Look, I just want to take a second and imagine. If everyone could just imagine a world with no borders, we would see drugs flying in, children in Arizona specifically. That is the state that has the highest child sex trafficking over that border. So that is the world that he is imagining right now, where there are no rules and no regulation, and that's okay. I always ask the question, what bothers you more, the idea of a child being temporarily separated from their parent, or a child that is a part of a sex trafficking ring? Because that is what this question comes down to.
I appreciate the emotional appeal of your point.
He needs to take a hard line on this issue. I believe, I support him. I agree that if the government has to shut down to get it done, let the government shut down to make it
Jess, is it worth that much?
If he shuts it,
and this is weeks before the midterm.
If he shuts it down, he has to get the funding. Because if he shuts it down and doesn't get the funding, that's going to be an absolute catastrophe for not only his approval rating with his base, but also the people running for re-election. So it needs 60 votes in the Senate as is. I don't see it happening that way. I'm a little nervous about the wall. They're just going to have to do it brick by brick. I wish we didn't have to build a wall. Mexico wouldn't have to pay for it then because it's very expensive. But unfortunately, you need the wall to stop illegal immigration. And all these Democrats keep telling me when they're in this chair, oh, the Democratic Party doesn't believe in open borders. Okay, well, this guy does. Hillary Clinton, WikiLeaks, she said she didn't believe in borders. You had the number 2 at the DNC, Keith Ellison, wear a T-shirt that says, I don't believe in borders. Every time someone abolish ICE, they don't want to fund the wall. They don't want borders because they want the votes, and that's part of their party platform. It's just not a winning strategy.
Jim Jordan, you know him, Dana, candidate for speaker the next time around in Ryan's absence. He says it's worth the fight. He says shut it down if we have to. The wall is what you ran on. It's been 18 months, no progress. I say, Jordan says, also an Ohio congressman, he says, shut it down. What say you, having been close to the heart of power?
Do you know that my first day on the job as a press secretary on Capitol Hill was the first day of the first government shutdown in 1995. And I didn't know if I should go to work or not because I wasn't sure if I was essential. And so I just think government by shutdown is really not a good way to do business, but also because of the partisanship, it's hard to get anything done. The best thing that the Republicans could do is try to stem their losses that they could face in the House, try to maybe win some, as the president said, a red wave. That's how you prevent government shutdowns. If you have more of your people, if shutting down the government and then not getting the money and then having to say, well, actually, we are getting the wall because we are doing these improvements, which are actually already happening. That would probably be a better strategic way to do it.
I agree. But, Greg, you've got firebrands on both sides. There's no way, if the Republicans are threatening a shutdown, if the president's threatening a shutdown, there's no way the Democrats will yield. Yeah. They will prolong the agony to unsettle the electorate on the eve of the midterms and could indeed. You know, are you willing to stake the future of the party on this one issue?
I don't know. I would normally say no, but I have been wrong so many times in the last couple of years, especially about Trump's policies. And I'm beginning to see evidence that Trump's immigration policies are beneficial to the lower rungs of the employment ladder. And it's something I think he has been talking about it, but I don't know if he's linked it to the immigration policies. So as we see illegal immigration decline, there's been an increase in native-born employment, a small increase, like 1%, I believe. But that doesn't mean whites. That means blacks and Hispanics who are legal citizens here who are actually getting jobs. So that may be why his popularity is rising among blacks and Hispanics, which is something like 29% among blacks. So they have to show that maybe Trump's policies are having a definite effect on employment. This has been a debate forever.
Of course. It's not even a debate. Illegal immigration directly hurts the black community.
Yeah.
That's who affects,
Oh,
number
that's
one.
bogus.
No, it's not
totally
bogus.
bogus.
No, they're actually
the black community is not going to go to
the black
the
labor
poultry
force,
processing
the highest
plant,
unemployed
the
rate are young
plants.
Nope, you're absolutely incorrect. Okay.
They will if they
Black
get paid
unemployment is
the
below
right wage.
5%. Where are you going to find these black people?
I understand that now. Okay, yes, because thanks to Trump's policies.
Where are you going to find black people? Where are you going to find Latinos?
I'm sitting right next to you.
But you have a job.
I'm sitting right
And you're a
next to you.
citizen.
Where are we going to find these black
He's
people?
plucking a chicken right now.
Yeah,
My
I mean,
advice
like-
to my friend, the president, is to secretly negotiate with Schumer. You get the wall. He gets the Dreamers. Give a green light to
They
the
had
Dreamers.
already said it.
They
He
had,
offered
they had
the
it. They had
Dreamers.
$25 billion
He
for
did
the
that.
wall,
Right.
and they had Dreamers.
More
and
than
it got
25.
yanked off the table.
That's exactly
I want
correct.
the 2013 compromise legislation
They don't
passed
want
by the United
compromise.
States Senate. That's what I want. They don't want
We gotta
compromise,
stop
Candace.
pretending
You're
they
right.
want
Can't even
compromise.
get,
He put that on the
compromise.
table. He put the DACA deal on the table. They didn't want that. All they want to do is obstruct. So he's going to have to take a hard line to accomplish anything in this administration.
So
I'm
you
sorry,
say
Geraldo.
fight to
And by
the
way,
finish.
I take great exception because it is factual that unemployment